Scott Foley, who played Roman Bridger in Scream 3, is officially set to return in Scream 7, but he just did a little interview on Live with Kelly and Mark, and he might have revealed some details about his role. So let's get into it.
Certain rules push the laws and you end up dead.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life.
Not in my movie.
Surprise, Sidney. He's gone mad.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
A very simple formula.
You want to play psycho killer?
Everybody's a suspect.
No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I think it's gonna go something like this.
I'm Pamela, welcome back to the channel. So we know that we got the crazy news that Scott Foley and Matthew Lillard are back for Scream 7. And ever since this news broke, it has us losing our minds, wondering what the hell is going on with this movie. What does this mean? Because Roman Bridger is obviously dead, he was shot in the head, but when it comes to Stu Macher, there are many of us out there who believe he is alive. Some people think that the two of them are coming back just for flashbacks. I personally think Roman is going to be just a flashback and Stu is going to be alive. And people have also been wondering, if Stu is coming back alive, why did they reveal it to us? Why did they give away the biggest plot twist? Some of you guys here already know my thoughts on that, which we'll get into towards the end of this video, but let's talk about this little interview that Scott Foley just did on Live with Kelly and Mark. Shout out to Scream News on Twitter for sharing this. So Mark Consuelos, who is also officially a part of the Scream 7 cast, he said to Scott Foley, "You played Roman Bridger in Scream 3. Scott Foley says, "I did." Mark says, "You were a killer." Scott says, "I was." Mark says, "You died." Scott says, "I did." Mark says, "And now you're returning in Scream 7. And Scott said, "Look man, it's Scream."
You played Roman in Scream 3.
I did.
You were a killer.
I was.
And you died.
I did.
But now you're returning. You're returning in Scream 7.
Look, man, it's Scream.
So Scott revealed that he was shooting a different show down in Atlanta, staying at a hotel where they put up a lot of the actors for different productions. And Mark Consuelos was also down there last week filming Scream 7. So Mark, Scott, and Kevin Williamson all got together to have dinner together and talk about Scream. Scott Foley revealed that he had a conversation with Kevin, who is currently directing Scream 7, and that Kevin wanted Scott to come back and play a small part. That is a very important piece of information. He reveals that it is a small part. He said, "I was so excited to sort of revisit this character even though he died in the first one," he said. He definitely meant the third one.
I just had a conversation with Kevin Williamson, who's directing and wrote the first few Screams, is directing this one, and he wanted me to come back and play a small part. And I was so excited to sort of revisit this character, even though he died. Yeah. In the first one.
This just confirms that he is only playing a small part, which is what I've suspected. A lot of us have suspected. He says, "Kevin wanted me to come back and play a small part. I was excited to sort of revisit this character even though he died." So in my mind, that just further confirms that he is only going to be a flashback, maybe a hallucination of Sydney's, I don't know, but he's definitely not alive. I mean, he was shot in the head. But now let's also talk about Matthew Lillard. So he just did a convention down in Orlando this past weekend, and he of course was asked about his Scream 7 return. This was his first convention since the news broke. He was asked, "What can you tell us?" And he teased the audience. He said, "You want to hear everything?" Skeet said to him, "Wait, who are you playing?" And Matthew Lillard teased, "I come back as a fairy godmother."
Matthew, what can you tell us?
You guys, you want to hear everything?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, who are you playing? I come back as a fairy godmother.
And then he said, "Am I coming back? I'm not used to that question and having an answer." He also says, "I've been asked literally 1,000 times a day since the first movie ended, and I'm happy to report that I am."
Am I coming back? I don't know. I'm not used to that question and actually having an answer.
Yeah, getting to answer.
Yeah, it's so funny. I've been asked literally 1,000 times a day since the first movie ended if I'm coming back. And I'm happy to report I am.
And then Skeet had very nice things to say about his friend. He said that Matt called me and told me, and I was so excited for him. Anyone who knows him knows how much he has wanted that. So I'm very happy for you. And then Matt said, that's it, that's all we can talk about.
So Matt called me and told me when word came down, and I was so ecstatic for him, because anybody who's been to one of these or knows him or has followed him knows how much he has wanted that. So I'm very happy for you.
That's it. That's all we can talk about.
So, very different interviews here between Scott and Matthew. Scott revealed it's just a small part, and Matthew did not give away anything. He did not say it's just a small part. He did not say, I'm excited to revisit this character even though he died. He was very tight-lipped, but also something that is interesting is what Skeet said. He said that anyone who knows him knows how much he has wanted this. For years, Matthew Lillard has been vocal about the fact that he thinks Stu is alive and the fact that he wants to return. For Skeet to say anyone who knows him knows how long he's wanted this, that in my mind means he's wanted to come back alive for so long and it's getting to happen for him. I just think there's absolutely no way that Matt and Skeet would both be this excited for his return if it was just a small cameo, just a flashback scene, just his voice on the phone. People are running with the AI theory, which I'm not into that theory. Even if it ends up being the case, I do think he's still going to show up alive at the end. Now, I've said before in past videos that I think the reason that they chose to announce Matthew Lillard is because they knew they could not keep this under wraps until the release. It probably would have got leaked. People would have taken photos of Matthew Lillard on set, would have ruined the surprise. It would have sucked if it got leaked like a month before the release, so they chose to tell us themselves. And when it comes to Scott Foley, who has confirmed that it's a small role like I thought it was, they probably could have kept him a secret. He probably could have gotten in and out of set in one day without being spotted. But they chose to announce Scott Foley as well to further confuse us, which is a good thing. If they only announced Matthew Lillard, we would all be like, okay, Stu's alive, surprise ruined. But by announcing Scott, who is definitely dead, it makes us wonder, what the hell is going on? If Scott's just a flashback, then Matthew must be just a flashback as well. But no, they're gonna hit us with him being alive at the end of the movie. But that is it for today. Just some interesting little updates. I'll take anything we can get. Scott Foley confirmed that it's just a small part for him, but Matthew Lillard said that he cannot reveal anything. So I still fully believe my theory that there's going to be a flashback in the beginning with Stu and Roman, and we're gonna think that that's all we're getting and say, oh man, that's all Matthew Lillard is back for, and then
Surprise, Sydney.
he's going to be alive at the end of the movie. But please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, hit that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on everything Scream 7. Also, please leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Please also go follow me over on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and I will be right back.